When you think about the life that foster kids live, they're in foster care for a reason, right? They're in foster care because their parents had some sort of issue or trouble.
They're half as likely to graduate from high school as their peers. So for instance, in DC, the graduation rate is under 40%. A very high percentage of young men who age out of foster care at 18 wind up homeless by the time they're 20 years old. I mean, it's very difficult. One of the challenges for a lot of kids in foster care is how to keep their information confidential. It is, in some senses, shared with lots of people, and yes, it's supposed to be very private.
So the more information about you that's out there, the more vulnerable you are to identity theft. Identity theft or identity fraud, when somebody impersonates you and applies for credit in your name or gets a job in your name or applies for your tax refund, they've built a life as you online that can totally demolish your credit history and your credit score. That can take years to untangle and also cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Foster kids travel from one place to another, often many times, and their information goes with them. And the more people who have access to your information, the more vulnerable you are. And that's why it's a particular problem for foster kids. Unfortunately, the more people that you come into contact with and the more people that your information come into contact with, the more likely you are to be a victim.
I know for us, one of our goals for kids is teaching them about these kinds of risks and also ensuring that they have the documents they need in their possession: Social Security card, government-issued ID, driver's license, how to access health care, how to make them aware of it. I mean, I think probably all young adults may be at risk at some level for this, but I think if you haven't, again, had anybody to talk to you about applying for credit cards, using your Social Security number, who to share information with, who not to, I can imagine that it's a higher risk.
The best way to prevent ID theft in children is to educate the parents. And having been a PTA member for many, many years, I know the PTA has the ability to gather groups of parents and to talk to them about important issues. And so my advice for PTAs all across the country would be make this an issue and start talking to parents about what they can do to prevent identity theft in their kids.